Are you desiring more out of life? More love, more connection, more experience, just more aliveness? Well, that is your soul calling you. And together we are going to uncover those soul desires and help you bridge the gap between your physical life and your true soul self. Welcome to the Suddenly Spiritual podcast. My name is Emily. I'm an intuitive, a psychic medium, and someone who recently and very suddenly awakened to spirituality. On this podcast, we are going to talk all about connecting with your soul to live your fullest, most beautiful life. We're going to talk about spirituality from the perspective of the everyday person. It's my goal that you feel seen and supported on this journey of discovering your soul and awakening to the incredible world of spirit. Let's get started. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to the Suddenly Spiritual podcast. I'm happy to have you here for another amazing episode. The episode I'm about to play is a replay from a live video I did over on my Instagram account. On Instagram, I'm at Suddenly Spiritual, and this is the last in a series of live videos I did in September, all about soul discovery. So in the replay, I went ahead and cut out in the beginning where I had a lot of chit chat. So once I play it for you, it just dives right in. If you want to be live for these videos, be sure to follow me over on Instagram. I'm doing another series in October where we're going to talk all about soul desires. September was about the inner work and about discovering who you are at a soul level. And October is going to be about bringing that work out into the world. It's about defining those desires inside and then seeing that change in your life. And it's going to be so amazing. I have these live videos every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. I'd love to see you there. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Also, at the very end, I do mention that I am currently offering a special offer on oracle card readings. So if you're interested in a reading, that will be in the show notes. Okay, enjoy. Bye. So let's go ahead and start chatting today about living from your soul. Our intention for today is to bring together all of the teachings from this month as we've learned about soul discovery and having that deeper connection within. We are going to talk about moving forward, and I'm going to leave you some guidance for moving forward with this new awareness that you have. So our first session, when we were talking about connecting more deeply with our soul, is we were talking about recognizing the energy of your soul. And the energy of your soul we talked about is love. And that's why love has been such a deep and recurring theme throughout this month, because your soul exists in the energy of love, the energy of self-love, of that unconditional love from source, creator, God, whatever word you want to use. Your soul exists in that same energy. And so in that first session, we talked about the way to connect with your soul, with who you truly are, is through love. And it is through love that you give to yourself. It's not through love that you wait to receive from somebody else. It's through love that you create within, because that love already exists within you. Your soul is already in you, in that energy of love. And all that we're doing is connecting with it, accepting it, allowing ourselves to feel and receive that love. We talked about doing loving things for ourselves to get more comfortable connecting with love, more comfortable receiving love, more comfortable being in that energy of love. Because the truth is, it can be really hard to allow ourselves to accept love, to accept those feelings of love. And so when we do loving actions for ourselves, we are making ourselves more comfortable with the feeling of love. And the more that we can sit in that energy of love, the easier it is to connect with who we truly are, because that is where our soul exists. Our soul exists in love, and we get there through self-acceptance, through turning that love inward to ourselves. We also talked about this month practicing trusting in yourself, trusting in your beliefs, your thoughts, your opinions, your knowing, trusting in your soul. And not just trusting in yourself, but being brave enough to take action based on those things that you know. Being brave enough, trusting yourself enough to move forward based on your own knowing, rather than based on what everyone around you wants to tell you what to do, or based on what society thinks you should do. We really talked about learning to make the shift from decision making based on external forces to decision making based on our true knowing, our soul, ourself. We talked about making a commitment to looking inward and believing those opinions and beliefs and desires and knowings that we have within before we go and ask for advice from everyone else, so that we can start making decisions based on who we truly are. And that's part of what we're moving into talking about this next month, is learning to move into decision making that comes from who we are, learning to exist in the world based on who we truly are. To get to that understanding of how to make decisions, this was last week, we talked about working toward defining what our core values are. And our core values are the things that bring us joy, that are just undeniably true for us. They're the things that are in just complete congruence with who we are, with how we want to exist in the world. And core values, we talked about a core value for you can be love. A core value for you can be freedom, adventure, nature, health. Whatever it is sort of that guiding force in your life, the thing that is so important to you. We talked about defining those so that we have something to refer to when it comes time to make a big decision. We talked about decision making from your core values, about defining those values and supporting yourself as you move forward with this new way of making decisions, with this new way of existing in the world. And that kind of brings us to today. That was the shortest recap I've ever done. Some things I want to leave you with today when we talk about living from your soul. First, let's talk about what it means to live from your soul. When I say live from your soul, I mean you're living with intention, and you're living with the intention to be authentic to who you truly are. You know, there's like, I almost don't like to use the word authentic because I think it's so overused, but I know it's something that everyone can understand what that means. But living from your soul is living in a way where you are intentionally recognizing your desires, who you truly are. You're doing that deep connection, that reflection, and then you are working on living from the inside out. You're working on moving through the world from your heart, from your curiosity, from how you desire to be in the world, rather than moving through life based on, or allowing yourself, I guess, to be solely guided by the external. How I see it in my head, it's the difference where you are standing and you're moving through life with this heart center, with this knowingness. You're moving through life as that is your guiding force. And that is in contrast to moving through life where life just kind of pushes you around and you're like stuck in the current. If you're on a river, like you're stuck in the current, just moving wherever life takes you, sort of just a victim to whatever forces come your way, to whatever influences come your way. And we're talking about stepping out of that victim role, out of that role where you feel like you don't have control over your life, and stepping into the role of knowing who you are and moving through life with intention. You know who you are, you know where you want to go, You might not know exactly where you want to go in life, but you have an idea of who you want to be, how you want to exist, the feelings you want to experience. You know those things that are important to you, and you are intentional about making decisions that lead you closer and closer and closer to who you are, and allow that growth that your soul is desiring, that your soul needs. Living from your soul, it doesn't mean that you have a perfect life and everything is amazing all the time, because that's not real. We're people and we're humans. And even when you're making decisions based on your soul, based on what you truly want, you're still going to encounter difficulty. You're still going to encounter struggle. You're still going to encounter opportunities to learn and grow and change. You're still going to experience failure. You're still going to experience the human experience. But the difference is you're going to be doing it on your terms. You're going to be doing it with the knowledge that this is who I am. This is the path I have chosen, and I am capable. This is the path that is for me, because it is me. It is me. And it's not living from your soul. There's so much more like conviction as you move forward. It's so much easier to support yourself through times that are low, through times that are difficult, because there is a knowingness and a passion that is behind your decisions. There's an intentionality. There is a connection between your actions and who you are inside. And that is what helps to propel you forward. So living from your soul doesn't mean your life is perfect and easy. It means that it's meaningful, it's purposeful, it's fulfilling. And that's so much more important, right, than just a simple, easy life that doesn't mean anything to you. So I just want to let you know this doesn't mean that everything is all rainbows and butterflies now. You get rainbows and butterflies, but you're also going to encounter some difficulties. But living from your soul means that you are capable of overcoming those difficulties. You're capable of moving forward even when things are difficult, because you have the purpose and the knowing to back it up. I want you to know that your path will be a unique reflection of you. It will not be a reflection of everyone around you. It won't be the same as everyone around you. It will be a unique reflection of that beautiful light, that beautiful soul that is within you. It will be based on who you are, which is not who anyone else is. It is just you. And so know that your path is not going to look the same as everyone else's. And something along with that I find personally is I often find myself in comparison with other people, thinking this person is so much farther ahead than me in a certain area of life, or that mom is way calmer than me, or any form of comparison. I find myself in that a lot of times. And what I have to remind myself is I am on my own path, and I am exactly where I am meant to be in this moment. And when you follow your soul, you are always exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. And everyone else is where they're supposed to be. You only have to worry about you and trust that the path that you're on is where you are meant to be. And the next steps you take are what you're meant to do. There are lessons in every step of the way. There's learning, there's growth, and you're doing exactly what you're meant to do. When you choose to live from your soul, I also want to talk about there's a lot of vulnerability required, because you may be making decisions that are not in alignment with what other people believe you should be doing. Not only that, there's that where you have to be vulnerable and brave enough to do that when it may go against what other people think and believe. But there's also a vulnerability in allowing yourself to be seen for who you truly are, because we don't often do that, right? There's a lot of walls and barriers and protection and shields that we put up around our heart to keep ourselves safe, to protect that true part of us. Because when the truest part of us, our soul, when that gets bruised, when that gets hurt, that's a deep hurt, because it's our true self. And to put ourselves in a position where we may not be accepted for who we truly are requires an incredible amount of bravery and vulnerability. And so this path, living from your soul, being in the world as who you truly are, you should know not everyone is brave enough to do this. Not everyone will take these steps forward. Not everyone will have the courage or even the awareness to step forward as who they truly are. So this path requires vulnerability. It requires the risk that comes with being seen for who you truly are. But if you are able to love yourself through that, to fill yourself with that deep love and support, it is something you can absolutely do. And I want you to really give yourself credit for taking those really brave steps forward to be who you truly are in a world where there is the risk of negative feedback. And choosing to love yourself regardless of these external voices, choosing to be yourself regardless of how people receive you, that's a superpower. And so as you work on stepping forward and living with your soul visible to the world, living with who you truly are visible to the world, just be sure that you are giving yourself the credit and the love that you deserve. Support yourself through this. Have your own back and know that it is an incredible, brave step that you are taking forward, and not everyone is as brave as you are. Not everyone will do this. You are incredible for choosing to step forward as your true self, and really give yourself credit for that. I already know I'm going to go longer than I intended. I also really wanted to talk to you about the fact that living from your soul is not something that's like one and done. You're not like, okay, I know myself, this is the end. It doesn't work that way, because the truth is we are constantly growing and evolving. And so when I talk about standing in who you are, there's also a need to hold a little bit loosely to your understanding of who you are, because it is going to shift and grow and change. And that is what we're meant to do. We're meant to evolve through this lifetime. We're meant to grow. We're meant to just become more and more and more of who we are, and understand ourselves on a deeper and deeper level. So who you are today, who you recognize yourself as, who even your desires and your values today may not reflect who you are in a year, in 2 years, in 5 years. Allow yourself the space for that change. Allow yourself to remain in curiosity about who you are. Follow your interests, follow your curiosity, and leave room for that change, for that shift, because we are never done evolving. We're never done learning who we are, and that growth is going to happen for your entire life. There's always going to be movements forward, and I especially mean that for you who is listening, anyone who is listening, because you're on this path of self-development. You're on this path of learning who you are on a deeper level. And so you especially can anticipate that your views of the world, your beliefs, what you know to be true about yourself and about the world, it's going to evolve and grow and change over time. And if you allow that change, the growth happens so much faster. But if you're resistant to the evolution of you, of who you are, of your experience of the world, if you are resistant to that, then those lessons are a lot harder to learn, and your growth feels like a struggle, because you're gripping on to what you know without allowing the newness to come in, the new information, the new understanding. And so if you can loosen your grip on who you believe you are and leave some openness for change, for growth, it will serve you so well. It will allow you to just make incredible leaps forward in your personal development and in your growth, which is going to give you incredible leaps forward in your experience of the world and your ability to experience the world in an incredibly positive way. There was a podcast that I listened to by an author that I have read some of her books that have just blew my mind at the beginning of my spiritual awakening. Her name is Sonia Choquette. And in her podcast, one of the episodes, she had said, don't ever think that you truly know yourself because you might surprise yourself. And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, as soon as you think you really know yourself, that's when changes start to happen. You have to leave room for that surprise. You have to leave room to see that evolution and allow this space for you to change over time, because you're going to change and you're going to grow. And living from your soul is allowing that growth. It's recognizing that you are on a journey of constant evolution, and your soul, that connection you have with your soul, with who you truly are, it's going to continue to get deeper and deeper and evolve with more understanding. So this is like the topics that I had written out to talk to you about. But then before I hopped onto the video, I just did a quick meditation and I asked Spirit, like, what are there any other messages that I should bring through to kind of close out this month of talking about discovering your soul? What do people need to hear to be able to move forward with this new awareness and this knowledge? Because becoming aware of your soul is like, wow, mind-blowing, right? I don't know. It was mind-blowing for me the moment I realized, like, holy crap, I'm not just a brain, I'm a soul. That just blew my mind. And so I was asking Spirit, what messages can I bring forward to them? What do they need to hear? And I decided to pull some cards. I have this oracle deck that is just beautiful. I know all the words are backwards because of my screen, but whatever. It's called Sacred Destiny Oracle, and the cards are really beautiful. And I intended to pull one card. I pulled 3, and I'm going to show you the cards that I pulled. And then I just had some messages come through, and I'm going to read those messages to you based on the cards. And I really hope that it speaks right to your heart. And the first card I pulled is called Blessing. All these cards, by the way, that I pulled are so beautiful, and this message is full of hope, and it's just like a really beautiful reading. Sometimes readings include like some direction to heal and direction to do some hard work, and these cards are all blessings. Is the first one. The next one I pulled is opportunity, and the next is potential. Like, that's beautiful. So I have some messages I'm going to share with you about these cards. This first one, Blessing, you can see what a beautiful picture. I just love this deck. What came through me when I pulled it, I typed it out. So I'm going to look over here and read. It says, you are a blessing to the world, to those around you, simply because of who you are. When you live from your soul and embrace who you truly are, that is the greatest gift you can give to the world, because simply by being you, you're inspiring others and lifting them up. It's just who you are, even if you don't see it. So when I pulled this card, Blessing, yes, blessings coming into you is what it's saying, but the message that came through so strong was that you are a blessing. And we don't always recognize that, but you are truly a blessing to the people around you. It's not because of what you do for them. It's not because of how you serve them in any way. It's because of who you are. And learning to live from your soul and choosing to be in the world as who you truly are is an incredible blessing to the world. This continues on. We all have a light within us, and when we embrace that light, it illuminates a path towards self-acceptance, towards self-awareness in others. It illuminates a path toward love and joy and authenticity in others. And this part of the message that came through was really about, by choosing to live in the world as yourself, you're not just getting to experience the world in this magical way because it's in alignment with who you are, but the light within you is burning so bright that it illuminates the path for other people to do the same. Other people become lit up. Their own inner light starts lighting up because they are so inspired by you making the commitment to be who you are in the world, and it inspires them and lets them see that path that they were not aware of before, that they were blind to before, but your light illuminates that for them and gives them the inspiration to start discovering who they truly are and living from their soul. I want you to know that you are a blessing to the world simply by choosing to be who you are. And that's it. You literally don't have to do anything other than live from your soul. And that is the most inspiring thing that you can do. Simply by being yourself, you are an incredible blessing to the world, to the people around you, the people close to you, and even just the people that you see out in the world one time, you cross them in the store. Simply your energy of being who you are, it affects them. It lights them up, even if they don't realize what's happening. It is still lighting them up and showing them a path that is possible for them too. The next card that I pulled was Opportunity, which is such a cool card. It's got the moon and the stars, and it's so beautiful. With this card, the message that came through was about living from your soul and accepting yourself for who you truly are is the first step toward the life that you're meant to live. It's the gateway to opportunity. This connection with your soul, it's the gateway. It's like it opens the gate and then you go down the path of opportunity. Opportunity is there, and this is the first step. There's endless opportunity. First is the opportunity to know yourself more deeply, to love yourself, to welcome love into your life from others. All those opportunities are coming into you as you choose to step forward in this way. Then there's the opportunity to welcome physical blessings into your life. This comes back to our first card. The opportunity is there, and it showed me like a ladder of opportunities. And each opportunity that comes to you, it builds on the one before it, but it all starts with deciding to truly know and love yourself. That is the first rung of the ladder, if you want to look at it as a ladder. And then all these opportunities keep going up and up and up and building on the one before it, but it has to start with that first step of deciding to truly know and love and accept yourself and bring your beautiful soul self out into the world, into the light. See it for yourself. Allow yourself to see yourself for who you truly are. That is the first step to welcoming in incredible opportunities in your life. And it's like they're all waiting for you. There's no rush. There's no timeline on this. You take the time you need to discover and feel comfortable with who you truly are, and the opportunities are always there waiting. But this first step has to be done, even if it takes a long time to feel like you really understand and connect with yourself. It doesn't matter. This is the first step, the gateway to opportunity. The opportunities are there regardless of how long it takes, regardless of any other factors. It's just this first step is leading you into opportunity. The last card I pulled is Potential, which is such a cool card. The picture here is like a volcano at night, and it's talking about the potential, like the energy, like built up inside. Like volcanoes have this constant energy, this potential to friggin' explode, right? So with this card, the message that came through is the potential for everything you desire. It exists within you. It requires action, and it does require commitment. It requires trust and risk and vulnerability, like we talked about, to step forward, to be able to fully realize the potential that exists within you. And with this potential card, there's more possible for you than you can even imagine right now. If you continue on the path of soul discovery, self-discovery, soul connection. You won't even believe what your life will be like 1 year from now, 2 years from now. You can't even imagine it at this point because it's beyond your current reality. All the potential already exists here within you, and you can access it by leaning deeper into self-love and deeper into self-trust. And part of that trust is going to be trusting that that potential truly lies within you. It's access through love, though. It's access through acceptance. It's not access through pushing and forcing things forward. It's accessed through the inner work that we've been doing all of this month. So those are the messages that I had came through. I've never done a card reading on video before, so I hope you guys liked this. I love it. Working with cards is something that I have really learned to enjoy doing. It's something I've started doing for clients. If you're interested in having a personal card reading, I would love to do that for you. And I have an offer currently where I'm doing readings for only $33 with card readings, and I can use this beautiful deck. Or I have some other decks that I can use, which, funny enough, my phone is propped up on a stack of oracle decks right now and tarot cards. I don't have a phone holder. Okay. Anyways, that's it. That closes out our month of soul discovery. And I just really hope that these discussions have been impactful for you and have given you some awareness of the magical universe that exists inside of you already. All that we have talked about this month is accessing what's already within you. There's nothing outside of you that you need to search for, because all of this love, knowledge, your true self, it's already there within you, and there's nothing that you need to do to go out and find it. There's no forcing, no pushing, no making things happen. All of this connection comes from settling down into that deep self-love, that deep acceptance that we've talked about. And from that place is where the freaking magic happens. From that deep sense of connection, that is where life starts to get really, really incredible. But it has to start with the inner work. It has to start with that connection inside, that love that we are fostering inside, and that deep, unconditional, unrelenting self-acceptance that we are learning to practice for ourselves. Because until we truly accept ourselves, until we truly see ourselves, we are not going to be able to let ourselves be seen in the world. We're not going to be able to move in the world as who we truly are if we can't even allow ourselves to see who we truly are. So it really starts with that deep internal work of learning to lean deeper into that self-acceptance, that love, learning to see ourselves and allow ourselves to be seen. So that closes out our month of soul discovery. Like I said, I really hope that this has been helpful for you. Next month, we're going all into soul desires, and we're going to talk about using the knowledge and awareness of who we truly are to create an incredible, beautiful life, working towards our goals and dreams of what we see our existence in this lifetime being. So I'm going to hop off. Let's check my time. 35 minutes. Didn't make it to 20. I didn't stop at 20, but this was really good, I feel like, and I really hope that it benefited you. And I will be back next Wednesday, and we will start our discussions about soul desires and creating that amazing, magical life. All right. I love ya. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the Suddenly Spiritual podcast. I'm so grateful that I get to be part of your journey of spiritual expansion. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love it if you would leave a review for me on Apple Podcasts. It's a quick, free, easy way for you to support this podcast, and it helps me reach more people who are looking for support on their spiritual journey. You can find a link to leave a review in the show notes. Thank you so much, and I'll chat with you soon.